Chromebooks have always been known for their less than impressive specs and budget pricing. So let's take this for example. The Asus CX34 comes in at around $299. However, things are about to change with something called the Chromebook Plus. I'll put plus in apostrophes, I guess, whatever you call it. Yes, so the changes here are significant. So let's take this Asus CX34 for example. $299, as we just mentioned, comes with an i3 processor, but wait, you can actually spec this up right up to an Intel i7 processor, and that's one of the many changes that are happening with Chromebook Plus. So what is Chromebook Plus and what does it mean for Chromebooks moving forward? In this review of the Asus CX34, we'll go through that, plus give you an idea as to what we can expect moving forward, near in the future when it comes to Chromebook and Chromebook Plus. So the Asus CX34, let's talk about the display. It comes in 14 inches and it's full 1080p with a matte finish. So when you get that glare from sunlight, etc., you're not going to get it. But what does that mean for the actual display in terms of watching, browsing, etc.? Okay, so 1080p is an LCD panel. You're not going to get the deepest and richest blacks or the deepest and richest colors and contrast. But what it does offer is an excellent reading, browsing and using experience. So if you're watching content, great. If you're browsing the web, emails, checking documents, banking, etc., that all sits perfectly within the Asus CX34, and that display does a very good job of delivering on all those fronts. So let's give you an overview of Chrome OS. No real major changes here. Still incredibly simple and basic in its setup and its use and function. Bottom left gets you your menu icons, and in here you'll find all your various applications, etc., etc., etc. So nothing's really changed. Obviously, the only thing that we found is when we connected our S23 Ultra to the same email that was linked to the Asus CX34, we actually found that integration worked bang, snap, super quickly, which was great. And maybe that's something that we'll build on in the future as well with Chromebook Plus and be able to handle those higher processors with that newer processor. Beyond that, let's talk about gaming. Yes, one of the benefits of the i3 processor is you're able to game on your Chromebooks. Now, this is effectively games through the Android or Google Play Store, I should say, Android Play Store, Google Play Store, and it will auto recommend you games that are compatible with your Chromebook. So on the offset, just say this out loud, Call of Duty is not compatible. If you download it or let you download it, if you go to play it and try to increase the screen size, it just jags out, crashes, does not work. So I would stick to what they recommend using. But in general, the quality of the graphics, the way it functions, etc., all look great and actually can make for a pretty basic, and I emphasize basic, gaming experience on the Chromebooks. Now the other thing is when you look at the front of the display, sitting just slightly above it, bang in the middle, is that front-facing camera, full HD 1080p. Now in terms of quality, well, nothing fancy here, no security uses, no face unlock in and out, etc. None of that. But what it does offer is good 1080p video output, and it's going to be excellent for video calls if you're using it for work from home, for example, or if you're picking up a few calls here and there, or you have interviews, etc., etc. For all those things, it's going to be pretty good and pretty serviceable. So overall, if you look at the display, the camera, the screen, everything seems to line up really well. But we're going to get to our main point in a second with that Chromebook Plus moniker. So the full breakdown of the Chromebook Plus Asus CX34, this particular model, because we chose this model for a reason. Now you get an i3 processor, 8GB of RAM, 128GB of storage, which is SSD as well, and then there's that 14-inch display, which is 1080p. Now 8GB of RAM, 128GB of storage are standouts because normally on a Chromebook you wouldn't get those. You'd get 4GB, 64GB of RAM, 64GB of storage, sorry, not RAM. Yeah, so that can be where you'd peak out. But the interesting thing is on this particular Asus CX34, if you spec it right the way up, you can get a full 1440p, I believe it is, display, touchscreen, i7 processor, 1TB of storage, and 16GB of RAM. So they've kind of made this two-tier system. So you've got your entry level, basic spec, basic laptop, basic storage, basic everything for the Chromebooks. Then you've got the other side where you've got the Chromebook Plus, where you've got the much higher premium specs, much higher displays, much better processing, much better capabilities of what it potentially could do in the future. So there's this nice two-tier system that's going on at the moment, which kind of emphasizes a different direction for the Chromebooks itself, which is super exciting. Long may the day live where we get some video editing, or I would guess pro apps. But we digress. The Asus CX34, what are our thoughts? So it is a really good introduction to Chromebook Plus for anyone out there who's looking for a new Chromebook. What I would say though is a lot of what you see on here you can achieve on pretty much any Chromebook. So there's no real reason to move to that. What I would say though is build quality, keyboard, functionality, looks, design, feel, everything is as you'd expect from a laptop that costs less than $300, and all those things are synonymous with a Chromebook. So in the end, we would say, yeah, if you're in the market to buy one, why not get a Chromebook Plus? Because it's going to protect you for the future. You get a better processor, more storage, more RAM, and over time, you'll find it be more compatible with the things that you may need in the future, which potentially you can't use with a more generic base Chromebook. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, as always, we out.